Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to discuss trace table. In 9618 A level computer science, we are not usually given are supposed to make trace table from a flow chart, but from a pseudocode. As you can see, this is a pseudocode, and we will be asked to make this trace table. Now, the definition of trace table is a multi-row, multi-column table that is used to track changes of variables throughout the whole program, throughout the whole code. Okay, so wherever there is a change, we are only going to track that change. We are not going to keep on repeating values in each and every row. Okay, I'll let you know how we can do it. Now, first of all, there is obviously this is an array of integers, contains 4 elements which are assigned values as shown. Mix 1 is 1 3 4 2. So I'm just going to do this 1 3 4 2. Let's say 1 3 4 2 on the first row all together. Okay, now going back, a procedure process manipulates the values in the array, means processes the values in the array. Now the procedure is written in pseudocode like this. This is the definition of the procedure, starting from here and going till this end procedure here. Okay, and starting from here and going till here. So wherever there is a change in the value, we are going to track that. Now this header does not give us anything, so we are not going to we are not going to track any change in the variable for this line or the next line. Declare is only for declaration of variables or identifiers along with the data types. Now this one is our concern. Index is going to be start. Now we are supposed to put start in index, but what is start here? Now you would have to look at the header of this procedure. It says process, and start is being passed as a parameter. So now you would have to look at the whole page, whole question. There must be a calling of the procedure. It's here, call process 3. Now 3 is the argument that is passed on to this start variable, and this is what we're going to assign to index. Okay, so 3 in index. You may do it on the next line. You may ask, sir, why would we go to the next line? Now this is a trick. This is tricky. Whenever there is a new segment, whenever there is a new iteration, whenever there is a new step or series of statements, then you're going to switch to new line. That's what the key is. Okay, that's not final, because if you look at the answer key, that might sometimes fluctuate, but the examiner is not going to mark on this. It's going to just see the zones or the groups, and it's just going to look at the answer. If it's correct, then it's going to give you marks. So no need to be worried much about this line stuff. Now then we have count 0. It's in the same sequence or steps, so we're going to do it on the same line. Count is equal to 0 here. Okay. Then we would have repeat value this mix at index. Index right now is start has 3, so at array mix and index number 3 we have what? We have this element 4. Mix 3, at mix 3 we have element 4, so that will be assigned to value. Now you're going to assign this to value. Okay, and the next line we have here, it's mix at index is 3. You're going to assign some value which is mix index minus 1. Now you need to be very careful about this. Whenever it says mix index and the bracket would not be here, instead it's here, this means it's 1 is being subtracted from the index value, which would mean 3 minus 1, this would give you 2, but that's not the case here. Okay, so because I'm just telling you this because most of the students would make this mistake. So you would say mix index. First of all, you're going to take the element at this position, and then you're going to subtract 1 from that element, not from the index. Okay, so at mix index we have 4. Let's just take a look. Mix index will be 3, and at mix index will be element number 4. So you'll do 4 minus 1. This one gives you 4. This whole thing gives you 4, and 4 minus 1 will be 3, and that will be stored into mix index. Now wherever we had this value 4 is going to change to value 3 after subtracting 1. Okay, so I'm just going to rub this for now. Alright, this one also. Well, you can keep this one for now, because for this iteration index remains 3. Alright, then we would have index. At index you're going to store value. What is value? Yeah, this one is value, and it was 4 here. So you're going to assign this to index. Index now is going to be 4. Okay, and then we are done with these lines. Now we are going to do count is equal to count plus 1. Now count already was 0, it's going to be 1. See, here it was 0, it turns to 1. Now until count is equal to 5, which is not the case yet, so we're just going to keep on repeating this. We would not execute this line unless we are done with this repeat loop. So go back, you're not going starting all over from the start of this function, but from this repeat thing. Now value right now is what? Is 4. Value was already 4. Now you're going to do mix index. Index now is what? Index now is 4. Okay, so we will change this one. Index now is 4. At mix 4 we have what? We have 2. See, it's 2. Now you're going to do save this 2 or store this 2 into value, which is this. So you're going to do 2 here. So this line is done. Next line, mix index is going to get a value from this mix index minus 1. At mix index we do have index is 4. At mix index we have 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 1 is going to be stored onto this mix, and this line will be done. So at mix index we are going to do 1. Oops. At mix index we're going to do 1. Alright, well, that's a mistake. We're just going to do it here on this line. Alright, and then we would have this third line says index is going to have value. Value right now is what? Value is 2. You see here, this is going to be assigned to index. Index is going to have 2 now. Okay, and then this line is done. Last one is left. Count is equal to count plus 1. Count is equal to count plus 1 means it becomes 2. Okay, and I hope you can complete it this way, and then at the end you would have, when the whole loop is done, then you would do mix 4. Whatever mix 4 is, you're going to do count into index. Whatever the value would at that time be, I believe count would be 5 or 4. Index at that time, whatever it is, let's say I'm just assuming it's 1. Then 5 into 1 is 5. You're going to assign this to mix 4, and mix 4 here is this one. So somewhere here you're going to assign 5. Just assuming. Okay, because I believe you can do the rest of the program yourself. I'll just give you a starter, and otherwise it's going to the video was going to be prolonged. So I hope you can do it. If you would have any questions, you can ask me directly. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.